Right, you can't get that boxing ring going up in the courtroom.
That's a fine looking gentleman. Yo,
Yeah,
please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Albert, will you lead us in prayer?
Our Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this beautiful morning, and we give you thanks that we've had a peaceful night's rest. And our Father, I pray that you'll be with us during this meeting, that we may discuss those things that will be better for our community, and that we will do it in an unselfish-like way. And our Father, be with all of our young men and women who are serving in harm's way throughout the world, and I pray that you will be with them as only you can. Be with the leaders of our nation, our Father, that they may work together to try to do those things that will be beneficial to all citizens. Be with us now as we continue through this meeting. Watch over us and forgive us, and thank you most of all for your Son who died on the cross, that we can have that hope of eternal life. This is my prayer in your name. Amen.
Thank you, Albert. Okay, call this meeting to order. Roll call, Tony.
Judge Executive Curley.
Here.
Magistrates, District 1, Albert Bennett.
Here.
District 2, Jeff Boone.
Here.
District 3, Brent Stalin.
Here.
District 4, Jeff Sims.
Here.
County Attorney Massey.
Here.
Road Supervisor Waldron. And Treasurer Harper.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, first thing on the agenda is approve the agenda. Pretty long agenda, but it should go quick.
We would approve the agendas presented. Okay.
Okay, got a motion by Jeff Boone, got a second by Albert to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next thing on the agenda is approve the minutes from August the 24th. Any questions on minutes?
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Okay, got a motion by Brent, got a second by Jeff Boone to approve the minutes from August the 24th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Judges' comments. I just want to quickly give a vaccination update. So far, we've got 6,180 people vaccinated. Over the weekend since Friday, we've had several vaccinated. Starting to pick up right now. 18 years or older, we're standing at 61%. 65 years and older, we're standing at 85%. So we're doing a great job. And I'm going to give the rest of my time up to a gentleman named Donnie Boone. Donnie Boone, the floor is yours. If you would, come up here.
My name is Don Boone, and first let me thank you guys, the magistrates, and Larry, for your resolution to reject the proposed Kentucky Transportation US 641 route. I always said eminent domain is a law that if you're not involved, then you're probably not concerned. This US 641 improvement project started years ago, and the Boone farm has been ground zero since 2002. Our farm impact is both Phase 1, Marion to Fredonia, now Phase 2, Fredonia to Edible. Our land borders both in Caldwell, Crittenden County. Livingston Creek, the blue line, perennial stream flows through the heart of it. The Boone farm has lost 45 acres already to this road project, and now the Kentucky Transportation will be coming back for more. Now guys, that's just a sort of a observation to let you guys know where I stand on this. But the big thing is I want to focus on today is the traffic volume and everything on this highway project and what's been going on. Fredonia's being bypassed, and we don't want our businesses bypassed. We want the road, if it's going to come through, stay right there in town, go through. We've got a gas station that sits right there. If this road goes through, Fredonia's probably not even going to be able to buy gas in town. And then you got the other businesses and everything in town that it's definitely going to hurt it. But what really gets me about this whole project, most of you know me, and you know that I keep records and I document things and stuff. So Larry and I had talked about this just a little bit, but the history on this road goes all the way back, into the late nineties. But in 2003, there was a scope meeting down at the First District office at Paducah, Kentucky. In that meeting, they give the project history on the project. And the guy doing the talking said that the money was provided for a northern bypass of Marion. The northern and southern bypass options were explored, but neither was favored by the public. Local support was for the improved connection to Marion and a bypass around the city, and not a bypass around the city. As a result, funding was switched from the Marion bypass to US 641 improvement project. Now, if you know your history on this project and everything, you know that the US 641 improvement project would have more than likely been directly into I-24, just about the weigh station. So the lake traffic would have been bypassing Edible and Qatar. And here we go again. Edible and Qatar don't want bypass. Their businesses don't want bypass. So we go to another scope meeting that took place March 4th, 2004. Concerns was expressed because Wilson, excuse me guys, I've got a cataract in this eye with this darn mask on. I can't wear my glasses, so I'm doing the best I can. I printed this as big as I possibly could to see it. Concerns was expressed because Wilson Smith Associates suggested guidelines would not carry forward a corridor to Interstate 24. Tim Schultz also recommended a new corridor alternate that included the rebuilding of Interstate Exit 4, a new corridor parallel and immediate adjacent to West Kentucky State Penitentiary from the Exit 4. The corridor then would follow existing alignments east or west of Fredonia. Now, I know a lot of people think that Crider Farm is a big issue, why the road didn't go ahead and stay on the west side of the thing. But this is something right here, let y'all know that this thing actually started in 2004. This Exit 4 project, the very same project that's going on right now, was started back then. Now, also there's an email from the Kentucky Transportation Secretary, December the 13th. Quote, current and future traffic volumes are always used to help us determine the proper approach to project design, and I'm not aware that the volume calls for 4-lane in US 641 within the next 20 to 30 years. With recent decline in traffic volume nationally, I'm not sure that 4 lanes will ever be required in US 641. So that's what we're getting down to right now in the situation. This thing's going to be a Super 2 road. Why don't they just use the regular road they've already got out there instead of taking more land from the farmers and stuff like that? And like I say, we've done lost 45 acres and they're coming back and getting more land and everything off us. Now, I made some statements or some comments July the 19th, 2021 during the Kentucky Transportation Zoom meeting that has sparked some interest. But one issue I didn't cover, partly because of a 3-minute time limit, and officials from the Transportation Cabinet sort of exposed traffic flow numbers as being less than 2,600 vehicles per day traveling US 641 in the Caldwell-Lyon County line. Now think about this. We're building a brand new road all the way across through farmland and stuff like that and everything, and they can't get the count above 2,600 there at the county line, Lyon County and Caldwell County. Now the same way it happened at the Critney County line. They kept putting up the little counters and stuff trying to get it on up. 3,490 is the most they ever got at the county line. Now, there was also a value engineering study, and this gets back to the money, how the money's going to be spent on this road project. And the auto daily count on existing US 641 is barely 4,000 vehicles per day. That's well below the operating capacity of a two-lane rural highway. The value engineering team is also very skeptical of the model data that suggests an additional 10,000 vehicles might be used a quarter if a four-lane facility were to be built. Would that mean that 15,000 vehicles per day might use a quarter if a six-lane facility was built? We believe that the data should be evaluated thoroughly before being used as basis for any design. The Transportation Department has a bad habit of projecting future out traffic. Now, for us that watched the Zoom meeting the other night, we seen this happen. Like I say, 2,600 vehicles is all that travels that road. But they also started saying that they thought a lot more traffic used the road from the quarry back towards Lyon County. And I believe, Larry, I'm right on this, they was throwing out numbers like 7,000 vehicles. There's a big difference between 5,000 vehicles using that road, and they can't get the town up there. So also, on this first phase, like I say, I keep records and stuff on all this kind of stuff, and I've got the documents. There was a document out there to where they was actually showing by the year 2027 on 641 with the improvements from Henderson all the way through was going to be about 15,300 vehicles. Now, I've got a letter that was wrote here just a couple of years ago, and it was a representative in Louisville, state representative in Louisville. They quoted 3,500 vehicles a day. So there's no way those figures can come up with the way they're talking about. So you're talking about a lot of money being spent for a project. I'm not arguing about maybe we need a better road for the 102s. But guys, let's use some road that we've already got there. Let's straighten some curves out and widen the road just a little bit for what we already got there. Now, I could go on about this for a long time, but I'm not going to sit there and just keep taking your time up and everything on this. I just want you to feel what some of our comments are around Fredonia, how we feel about this. The business in Fredonia, if you guys don't help us on this and this road goes through the way they're doing it, it's going to be a major problem for our business. One other thing I want to talk about before I do stop on this. There's another situation that they've got going on, and we have pushed this hard. We've been to the African American Genealogy Group out of Louisville talking about this. There's no Fredonia cemetery up there on top of that hill. I took Larry to it the other day. The state is trying to say that the colored people buried in that cemetery are buried on the right-hand side down there. They're not. There's actually a African American Civil War soldier buried up on the left side, and that's where we think there's a lot of slave graveyards up there. Back years ago, they would bury whites and blacks in some cemeteries, but they would bury the blacks at one end, and that's what appeared to happen in this cemetery. There's no records on it. We tried to get the state to come in and do ground penetrating monitors on this, but they don't seem to want to do it. Now, Scott Giltner is an engineer out of Louisville, Kentucky. He also talked about the fact that he's got relatives in both cemeteries that's involved in this road project down there. And he had a comment statement on that. And I'm not going to sit here and read it out to you guys. I've got it. If anybody's interested in it, I've got some copies of it. I'll let you see what he had to say about it. But he pushed them pretty hard on this. He's been pushing this quite a bit. I don't know if any of y'all remember or not, 2010 we had the grade marking down there. Scott's group was a major instigator in getting that project off the ground and getting it going and putting it on down there that day. Turned out to be one of the best grade markings that's been around in the area for quite some time. Larry, like I say, I'm not going to tie up all your time on this. Anybody got any questions before I sit down on this?
Anybody on fiscal court got any questions? I asked Donnie, and appreciate you coming, Donnie. I just feel like some people need to express their opinions about this situation. Gotta have a voice.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie. Yes. Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to address the road from the perspective of the Lake Barkley Partnership and as an economic driver. I know there's been a lot of discussion about expanding the existing road. Expanding the existing road would impact even more homes and businesses right now along the current route. The way that, how narrow that road is, the amount of right-of-way that would have to be taken in, straightening out some of those curves would have an even bigger impact on homes and businesses if the road was not moved. Further, there are several businesses all along that route that have issues getting trucks in and out, both in Fredonia, both in Crittenden County, because there is no federal truck route along that gets up to 641. So our businesses have a lot of issues getting trucks in and out and moving product to market, either in Marion or in Fredonia. That's just going to continue to be an issue. The safety of that road, several people have passed away on that road recently. So from the safety factor, there needs to be some consideration on improving the traffic flow. There's about 400 workers that come back and forth between the three counties that drive on that road every day. Both for them being able to go to work and to go home safely is a major impact. I know that this road is a tough issue for everybody. I know that it's personal to people who have lost land, who will lose land, who are losing farms.
And houses.
And houses. Farms, houses, homes. I understand that that's really tough. From the perspective of safety and an economic driver, there needs to be a road expansion to help the entire region, not just Crittenden County, not just Lyon County, but the entire region. There needs to be a safer way to get traffic and move products and people.
Yeah. And I think one of the things in that letter, he mentioned that the whole purpose of the project from the Frankfurt was to benefit those 102-inch trucks.
Right.
And you really don't need 4 on them, you just need a Super 2. That's what we're talking about.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Donnie. Appreciate it. All right, next on the agenda, unfinished business. We got any unfinished business? Okay, let's go to new business. We need to set our county tax rates. All right, floor is open. Any comments?
Well, a 4% tax increase on a $1,000 tax bill would only cost $4.04. Out of a $1,000 tax bill, only 11 cents out of that $1,000, only $110 actually goes to the county. So instead of being a 4% increase on the full $1,000, it would only be a 4% increase on 11% of the $1,000. And the projections would be a $16,000 increase. $16,000 isn't much when you look at the scope of the budget, but 16 this year, 16 next year, and then time you compound 4% each year over a 10-year period, instead of that being 160,000, it would probably be more like 172, 180,000. The days are coming when the federal money is going to dry up. The days are coming when the state funding is going to dry up, and we've still got to provide roads. We've still got to provide police. We're still providing ambulance service. We're still providing a lot of needs that people regularly want, but they don't want to pay taxes. I was standing with a couple of farmers about a month ago. They want to know when's going to be done on their road. Want to know something's going to be done on trimming the trees back. Want to know when the side of the roads are going to be bush hogged. And said, I'm going to tell you another thing. I don't expect to hear you talking about a tax increase like you did last year. I thought you want services, you got to pay for them. I said 3 years ago, before I got elected and saw the money from the inside out, I agreed wholeheartedly with you. But now that I'm seeing where the rubber meets the road, if we're gonna continue to serve the public, we've got to have the funds from somewhere. I don't want a tax increase on my bill a bit more than anybody else does, but it's reality. We'll go to McDonald's, we'll go to the restaurant, we'll go to the gas station. Gas fluctuates 30, 40 cents, and we don't bat an eye, and we just go ahead and suck it up and go on. but we don't want to pay a penny more taxes because that's going to the government. That's my soapbox.
Thank you, Billy.
That's how I really feel.
Okay. Any more comments? Okay, we gotta set the tax rate.
I make a motion, we keep it as the same.
Okay, got a motion to keep it the same. Do I have a second? Second. A second. That means, all right. All those in favor of keeping the tax rate at the same, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, that means it's gonna stay at real property 9.7, personal 11.5. Thank everybody. Okay, next on the agenda, we got a ARPA resolution. This deals with the American Rescue Plan Act, the money that we get. It's kind of an insurance policy. I let Roy look it over. He was okay with it. The rest of you had a chance to look it over. It's kind of an insurance policy on our money. We think it's a good deal to help this company sign off on what we spend it on. It's a law firm that will sign off on it, and it will pretty well help us when we get audited. Any questions on it?
I talked to Glenda about this when we were in training, a matter of a few weeks ago. Any legal expenses as a result of this reporting will be covered out of the fees this costs. Any accounting cost out of reporting will be covered by this. Just about everybody prefers to pay somebody else to do their income taxes. People don't feel comfortable with their income taxes. It's easy to sit here and look at Glenda and say, Glenda, this is what you're getting paid to do. You need to do this. Well, this is outside the normal realm, and I'm not picking on Glenda, nor am I taking up for her. But these people are specialized. They put the time and energy and effort into figuring out what is workable, what's not workable. And to me, when Glenda told me about it, I said, it sounds like insurance policies. About everybody in here's got insurance on their home, and this is an insurance policy for the county. I move we approve the resolution as printed.
Okay, got a motion by Jeff Boone. Second. Got a second by Brent. This is a resolution, so we probably need a roll call, Tony.
Judge Curley,
Yes.
Magistrate Bennett,
Yes.
Magistrate Boone.
Yes.
Magistrate Salem,
Yes.
Magistrate Sims.
Yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you, Tony. Okay, next on the agenda to approve an internet partnership agreement. We put out a request for proposal several weeks ago with a couple of companies who put forth a proposal to start putting internet out in our county. Pennyroyal Electric, they're one of them. A lot of people get their electricity from Pennyroyal Electric. I think one thing, this is one way we can use our ARPA funds. And House Bill 320, it's also providing $250 million to help get internet service out in the counties. And it also allowed the co-ops to get involved. Unlike for-profit companies like AT&T, co-ops, they focus on service, not profit. And they brought electricity to all the rural areas decades ago, and these for-profit companies are not going to service houses that are far apart. These co-ops is a game changer for us. They can apply for these grants, and we can use our ARPA money to help get internet out in the county. So we've received two proposals, one from Pennyroyal Electric and one from Kenergy. And Amanda, would you like to address this? She's been helping us out tremendously with it.
So you all, in the proposal, you divided the county into three different segments. Pennyroyal Rural Electric, in partnership with Hopkinsville Electric Service, have responded to provide service in the bottom part of the county, which is where Pennyroyal already has a footprint. Pennyroyal is in the process of building out a fiber backbone that will serve their existing customers in Trigg and Christian, and I think part of Todd counties. Part of that backbone will also extend into Caldwell County. What they're including in their proposal is working with you guys to provide a dollar per dollar match to build off of that backbone. They're gonna build the fiber backbone no matter what, even if they don't work with you all. In addition to that backbone, their proposal says that for every dollar that you all commit, they will commit towards building out a fiber network In addition, they will go after state and federal funds that can be used for building out service in Caldwell County. They, said that they thought it would cost about $4.5 million total to build out all of Caldwell County in the area that they provide in Part C. So I would recommend with them, you all enter into a contract negotiation so you can determine how much funding you would like to put towards a project and can work with them on a phased development to say, we don't have $4.5 million to build out all of it right now. We don't necessarily want to spend $2.25 million as a match, but work with them to figure out where to build the lateral lines, essentially, that can further extend the network. The other response you all got was from Connexon. Connexon is the partner for Kinergy building out their internet network. Connexon responded that they would go into the areas where they received RDOF funding. RDOF was a program last year put out by the FCC to build out rural broadband. I would also suggest you all enter into contract negotiations with Connexon to determine the locations where you want them to go. It doesn't make sense for Connexon to build out in the service territory of Penny Row because Penny Row is already going to build that, it's already in their footprint. It makes more sense for Connexon to focus in the northern parts of the county or the central part of the county. You all should also work with Kinergy in the Connexon agreement to determine what their timeline is. Connexon did not indicate what type of funding match that they expected from you all. They simply responded that they have received $100,000 through the RDOF funds to build out in their area. So I think it would be wise to talk to Connexon and Kinergy to determine if there is a required match from you all, or if it would just be a contract to allow them to build out in their network. So that's what I would recommend going forward. Both of these companies have a good track record. Well, Kinergy hasn't done this yet, but Kinergy's been talking about building out fiber network for probably 2 years now. Connexon has a good track record. All they do is build out fiber networks for either municipalities or nonprofits. They've done this all across the U.S. They're partnering with some local businesses to build out the network and to support with Kinergy. So these are both good projects that I think will help us move forward in the internet build out.
Yeah, and you know, being able to apply for some of this $250 million, that will help us too. We are considered a rural area with not very good internet service. You know, out in the counties, we just don't have it very well. Some of these places are offering like 2 gigs. What was that? 2 gigs for?
I think for $100.
Okay.
And both of them indicated their price points for service. I believe they each offered between 3 and 5 tiers of speed. I think the most expensive one was about $110 a month for between a gig and 2 gig, depending on. That's insanely fast.
Yeah.
Most of us are probably on a good day operating at maybe 10 megs, so to have a gig is 1,000 times faster. So I think that these are both great projects. Several other local governments have partnered with Penny Row Rural Electric. Penny Row Rural Electric will build out the fiber lines. They will own it. They'll own the telephone poles. And Hopkinsville Electric will be the service providers and the customer service for it. They have not increased their rates in the past 3 years and guaranteed they wouldn't increase their rates. With the Connexon project, Kinergy will own the poles and the infrastructure, and Connexon will be the service provider.
All right, I wouldn't even make that motion. Any questions before we go ahead?
And I'll say that Lyon County recently went through the same process last week at their fiscal court. They're moving forward with Penny Row Rural Electric, and then they had another respondent that they're moving forward instead of Connexon that'll serve their requirements. But they still are very supportive of the Kinergy project. So my suggestion would be to move forward to authorize Larry, and if you wanted to form a committee or whoever to serve on that, to enter into competitive negotiations with the Connexon and Penny Row Rural Electric so that you all can work out a contract for what if you're providing a matching fund, what will be in that contract, and then you can bring the Right now, they are finishing acquiring the materials and the engineering to build out the backbone. They anticipate it will take a year to build out the backbone, and then they would start building the fiber network. They said within 3 years they could finish building out in Caldwell County. Connexon didn't provide as specific details, but I know that the Kinergy project is still working through the Public Service Commission to ensure that they can actually build out what they need. So I think that the Connexon project is also won't hit the start date in 120 days because they're waiting on ruling from the PSC.
Thank you, man. Any questions?
I think we've got to move forward. People want electricity back in the 40s and 50s. People need internet now, homeschooling. A lot of private businesses scattered throughout the county, a lot more than we realize. I make a motion, I move that we enter into a delineated area with Pennyrile in the area that they currently serve electrical customers. I also move that we enter into an agreement, Kinergy / Connexon, for the area that they service, and we start heading down that road. This money's there, we need to be getting it while we can get it.
We can make a difference in, internet has been such an issue here for years in the county. And we can make a difference. We need to do it.
Do we need to form a committee or just
We can
start
form-
out with you?
Well, I'd like to form a committee because I'm not an internet expert.
Well,
I
don't
barely
put me
turn the
on.
computer on.
Don't put me on, because I don't know anything about it.
I would probably say put a magistrate on it and a community leader that's pretty sharp.
I would be happy to serve on that if you all
Yeah.
want me to do that.
Can I form that committee?
I-
Roy?
Lisa Brown.
Agree to.
Yeah.
Can you decide what motion?
Just allow me to form a committee to help out.
Is someone gonna make a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Move to
Yeah.
let,
What they have with Boone?
There's no seconds that died.
Okay.
Okay. You made a motion to
To go ahead and
proceed with the contract. So I got a
Let's
motion
wait.
by Jeff Boone,
second.
got a second by Jeff Sims.
So Jeff made a motion to do contract negotiations. Other Jeff made a motion to form a committee.
No, he made a motion to, and who seconded it?
Me.
Jeff Boone. We're gonna do that first. We're gonna do that first, okay? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Now we need a motion to form a committee to help me on that.
Make a motion, we form a committee on the internet connection.
Okay, got a motion by Brent,
second.
got a second by Jeff Boone. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Okay, thank you, Amanda, appreciate your work on it.
Thank you all. I'm excited. This is a huge step forward for us in building out internet.
Hope so. Just gonna take time.
That's right.
All right. All right, next thing on the agenda is to approve the first reading of the budget amendment. We did not put the funds in from the CDBG Utilities Assistance Program. We are a pass-through. It's about $200,000 to help these individuals during COVID who could not pay their utility bills. Now, the money goes directly to the utilities, not the individuals. And we are a pass-through. PAX is the one that is dealing with this. I've dealt with PAD, I've dealt with PAX. So we've had to make this amendment, they told us first, to show the $200,000 in our budget. Any questions on that?
Move to approve that.
Okay, got a motion
Second.
by Jeff Sims, got a second by Brent. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. On this CDBG grant, you've got all these requirements you gotta do. I had to do a self-evaluation, I did all those things, sent it in the pad, but 3 other things we have to do, and this is part of getting that money. The first one on the agenda is to approve the relocation assistance plan. Any questions on that? I gave you a copy of that. I assume everybody read it.
Move we approve the printed copy.
Okay, got a motion by Jeff Boone.
Second.
Got a second by Elbert.
Now, excuse me, which one is it?
That's the,
Fair housing.
Fair
Relocation.
relocation
I'm
assistance
sorry.
plan. Got it?
Yeah.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next on the agenda, we have to approve the fair housing resolution. That's part of the CDBG getting that money. Any
So
questions
moved.
on that? Got a motion by Jeff Sims,
Second.
got a second by Brent. It is a resolution, but I'm just gonna do what we always do. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, we had to approve the drug-free workplace certification. These minutes will be sent in to Pat.
So moved.
Got a motion by Jeff Sims, a second by Elbert. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next on the agenda is to approve the transfers. Any questions on the transfers?
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion by Brent,
Second.
got a second by Jeff Sims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Next, pay the bills.
Move to pay the bills.
Appreciate everybody looking at the bills. Got a motion by Jeff Boone,
Second.
got a second by Jeff Sims. All those in favor to pay the bills say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff.
You're wore out.
Not wore out. All right. All right, let's go to reports. Joey, got anything you need to report on?
Not really, everything's quiet. Phil and I went to the governor's emergency management conference last week. We didn't get to go last year because of COVID, and we got caught up on a whole lot of stuff. There's a lot of changes coming out there too.
Appreciate it, Joey. Ronald, you got anything?
No, sir.
Keep collecting taxes, okay? Sheriff's Department got anything? Jason?
No, sir.
David? We are blacktopping update. We're starting our blacktopping, got several roads done. They're out there blacktopping today and they're blacktop tomorrow, okay? Mayor, you got anything you want to report on? Okay, appreciate you being here. Glenda, you got anything? Roy?
I'm good.
Tony?
We advertised both bids on the indexing system and the voting machines. Bids are supposed to be turned in by the 23rd. And Friday, I entered our name in the pot to get some money from the state and feds, so they know we want some of it.
Get it all.
We don't know how much.
Get all you
That's what some of the others are talking about. I wonder if you're supposed to get that.
We have to buy them and pay for them before they, and they reimburse us. So it depends on how many counties want it.
All right. Albert?
Our next meeting, I will be in Lexington at a meeting with the District Commissioner Station for 2 days.
Don't miss you.
I don't know if Jeff or anyone else is going or not.
Jeff, you got anything?
One thing I failed to mention about 6 weeks ago, John Hughes, a fellow magistrate, served for years. I grew up around John Hughes, but I just want to recognize the contributions he made when he was on the court. I apologize to him and his family. I failed to bring that up that time, and then appreciate all the work the road department's done getting these roads ready. The blacktopping is going good, and getting the infrastructure built up, and thankful that we're finally in a financial position where we can get the roads back in better shape. Appreciate what David and his crew are doing.
Thank you, Jeff. Brent?
The only thing I would add to that would be, we laid to rest, I guess last Saturday, a long-standing, master and Mr. Donnie Rogers.
Johnny Rogers.
He served for a number of years.
Yeah. Also the mayor, former mayor. Yeah. Jeff?
I just appreciate all the work that's going on right now. There's just a lot going on, so appreciate the sheriff's office and all that they're doing to help us protect us, and all the departments, the road crew. Just a tremendous amount going on. They're talking like we're gonna have, could be a bad winter, so David and that group's been working on plows and things like that, so I hope they're wrong.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate the media being here. Tammy, you're doing a lot of writing there. That hand's just going fast as you can. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you coming. All right. Anyone interested in addressing the fiscal court on Tuesday, September 28th, should contact the judge's office no later than Friday, September the 10th. Need a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion.
Got a motion by Brent,
Second.
got a second by Jeff Sims. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming. 40 minutes.